Hello, people. Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast platform. I'm your co-host, Chidi J, and to my left,
Hello, guys. Welcome to the Real Talk podcast.
will benefit people who want us to give our 2 cents on. Head down to the podcast channel, or you hit us up on Instagram. The bio will be left below in the channel, and do not forget to hit the subscription button. So, for my the English is not my first language, though, but we're trying. If you hate the way I speak, it's still okay. You can tell me in the comment section.
Because we have our compound when I was growing up, my dad's compound. We have, you see the way we have those fruits outside.
Yeah.
That's how we have banana stands. I have so many banana stands.
Mhm.
So most of the times bananas will get ripe. I'll be the one that knows where the ripe banana is. So before I tell you guys I'm tired of eating it,
Mhm.
most of the times I finish one only one stand.
Can't it mess up with your stomach? Because when you
It
eat,
does mess up with your stomach, of course.
the way you can visit the
I
toilet.
was a stupid teenager, bro. It does mess up with your stomach, of course, but like it's before I tell you I'm tired of eating it. So I'll come tell you guys, we have this one right here, we have this one right. So what my dad does is when I come back from school, they follow me, like somebody will be watching where I'm going.
Let me tell you one thing. Our age mate, when you were growing up in the village, it's really totally different from what kids are having right now. Because me, I remember back then, the way we used to ride,
We were outside. On a nutshell, we were outside. Our internet was interaction with people.
That's
be
true.
Be it good interaction, be it bad interaction. Our own internet was face to face with people. My own upbringing, two things they told me because I come from a big family. So my brothers let me know, number one, you don't bring problem back home, you solve it outside. Home is your sanctuary. Then number two, you don't really you don't run because you're afraid, you run because you know what you can do and you're preventing it.
Yeah, definitely. Because me, I remember this kind of rides we used to have, like you catch the banana branches, you hold sticks, then you go to the top of the hill,
Yeah, you slide.
right from up to down, bro. You go back when your trousers are tight.
You have holes on because your what do they call it? Your elbows are fucked up. Mom will also beat you while
Your parents will also add on top. So it was crazy and it was fun, whereby really experienced a lot of life, It was enjoying,
with that type of upbringing, the mistake our parents made was not allowing us to think fully outside the box when we started maturing, because they let us be out there. Then when you start getting up to like 13, they start trying to mortgage your life, because at that time education was everything. Like my household, if you're not talking about being a doctor, you're not talking about going into being a lawyer or anything, nothing. Like, want to go and study agriculture? Nah.
Actually, they normally say that you don't have a dream. That's not a dream, because then if you are saying that you are doing arts in school,
Yeah.
then they will definitely just say that you are nothing. There is a way they used to crap it,
Why?
Bro. If you are not doing sciences back then, it was crazy.
My dad is a PhD holder. You know, when you have a PhD in Africa, is a different thing. You're crazy. So I remember when I used to go for French class, and it was an intriguing class because when something is playful, I learn early. So I was catching up with the French stuff. Then I told my dad that we need a textbook. My dad walked up to me directly and told me that when the teacher comes in, that I should leave the class.
Wow.
That he said that period is free period for me.
Hey, that's crazy.
Then when the French teacher walks in, leave the class. And if the teacher says anything, just go to the staff entrance and give me a call. I'll come to the school. Remember, any school I'm going to, because I was stubborn. I was not level-headed. I was stubborn. So any school I was registered, they know that my dad has connections in the educational industry in my state.
Yeah.
So any school you're going to, my dad knows the principal
Of that school.
closely. You may not know, but you're being watched. So my dad is that type of person that you finish what you're doing in school, when you come back to the house, he tells you everything you did from A to Z. And the teachers that are complaining that you're not catching up on their subject. So you might come back from school to the house and you meet a teacher sitting with your dad already. You know it's up.
So let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
What do you think right now people or the young age is really missing from what the experience we got back in days?
I think one of the things they're missing is socialization. Being cooked up with the system, being cooked up with job. Let me give you an example. You find toddlers, literally toddlers right now that can't speak properly with iPads. I don't have depth knowledge about the internet and everything, but some people reference it as dopamine, the same level of dopamine, the same addiction level. So you find out that if you give this new generation time with the way they are cooked up with the virtual world, socialization would be a skill that they would have to go acquire in universities. Socialization will be a hot topic whereby it's normal for you to, human beings are social animals, you get me?
That's true.
But with the rates, everybody is getting hooked on Instagram and everything. Socialization will be one of those things that you have to go study just for you to be, or you have to work on it. Why this is inherent, it's supposed to be inherent in you, but because of the shift of the generational trend. Yeah, the trend right now is all about
Social media.
and AI has its advantages and disadvantages. AI is not helping also. You get what I'm saying? Some people now, it's better for them to, some people are more real in, like, when you meet them online, you text them, when you're texting with someone,
They are growing.
yeah, you feel like this, maybe you think he's an introvert. But when you see the person, it's different. So when you talk, that takes you into catfish. Now the catfish level in this society is crazy, bro. I'm not even talking about the looks, I'm talking about the personality of the person. It's a whole different perspective. I can meet anybody on social media, bro. I can literally meet anybody on social media. I can go to ChatGPT now and prompt it to make me, like, give me banking terminologies. And when I'm speaking to you online, I'm speaking like I am a banker. So I'll be using those terminologies. You might think this is a corporate guy,
This is a genius.
but I am not fucking corporate, bro. You get it? So the situation right now, it's messed up.
Actually, it's really going way crazy because I remember the way you used to get the interaction from the villagers, from the people who are heading the whole city or the people around the village, man. It was crazy because things were pretty hard as in terms of living
Yeah.
because there was little bit of money back then, but the way the money is flowing now is crazy. At the same time, the experience, I remember when my neighbor close to our house, he said, "You don't come to my garden because I'm gonna discipline you." And when we went there, the guy disciplined us thoroughly. And my parents went ahead and said, "Yeah, if you find them there,
Do it again.
do it again."
Yeah.
But can you do that right now?
You can't touch anybody's child. Now everybody is sensitive. Everybody is sensitive. And some men now wants to be spoken to like their princesses. Right? You find a man, when you're acerbic like me, for someone like me, I'm acerbic with communication. So some people take offense to you going direct to the point. Some people want you to banter, beat around the bush, especially men. And it pisses me off when it's coming from an African guy. You know for a fact that when you go back from all those things you're claiming to be doing here, you don't do it back home. People, like, I'm a Nigerian. In Nigeria, somebody in Nigeria, he said that a community trains up and down. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of things they let fly here will not fly in Nigeria. So I won't come here totally and adopt all their practices, forgetting where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
So
true.
now, if you touch a person's child, although touching a person's child may not necessarily be the answer, but it work. So at that time, with pure intentions, it was working. But here, it's as little as correction.
It's like it can be kind of connection because right now kids are crazy.
Man, a 6-year-old, you might correct a 6-year-old, and he will run back to the parents and say, this person, all he needs to say is, "This man touched me." They won't even try to understand what type of touching. Not saying it doesn't happen, molestation is there, but like,
What did the kid do?
how sensitive the parents are, the society. It's a whole different way. Back then and now, it's a whole different way.
True.
Like, for example, back then, you can't smoke in front of your parents, no matter who you are.
No matter how old you are,
No matter
you
how
cannot do that shit.
For a responsible family, no matter how you can't smoke in front of your parents. But right now, you find, I see 13-year-old kids. I think in Sweden or something, I understand to correct them if I'm wrong. I think in Sweden the legal smoking age is 13 or 15, thereabouts, that range. as an adult in Nigeria, you find a 15-year-old smoking, they will slap you. In Nigeria, they don't know who your parents are, but they will slap you. They won't let you smoke. This is a stranger. I'm talking like a 15-year-old is smoking. A stranger will literally go there and do something about it. But you can't say the same now. These are the things like the whole trend shifting.
So the parents are so sensitive right now to their kids.
Yeah.
I think this one is really giving the kids to be soft, like it's making the kids to be so very soft to an extent that cannot even think in their brain that whatever I'm doing is not good. It's totally wrong. It's gonna harm me alone.
It boils down to the training that you give your kid within the household. You get what I'm saying? Because like one of the things my parents used to tell me is that anything you're doing right now, I mean they started saying this when they find you're no longer at the age that they need to whoop you and all that. So they were like, anything you're doing right now, that when you clock 30 or 35, you can still be doing it and not worth it. I don't know if it makes sense. I'm saying no more time for the people there. Anything you're doing when you're 17, 18, in your 20s, that when you clock 40, you can still be doing it. Even though you still have a positive response to your life, it's not worth doing. So when you take that perspective and really break it down and apply it to the things you are doing at a very young age, you find out that your thought process will change. And when you now sit with your friends, you find out that they are well behind. The discussions you will be having with them will be very strange.
It will be very different as well.
While growing up, I spent my days around my brothers, and they were older than me.
Yeah.
They taught me a lot of things. I got to see them get in a relationship, break up, and all that. So, but most of their discussions was like, it's all sounded like, what can we do to like progress further? So when I hear these things and I go out in the evening and I stay with my friends, what I'm hearing from my friends is like, that girl is beautiful. Does she have a boyfriend? How will she look on a bed with bikini on?
Oh,
So these are the type of topics.
that
Or
is
like,
it.
or like, yo, this club, this club they just opened, they introduced the new menu. Have you tasted this codeine? Have you? When you now listen to this part, you listen to this part, you start like, that this is okay.
Conversation, which is
So
totally
it's
not
a whole
productive.
different level. But now, going back to what we were talking about, these kids don't have this opportunity because they are cooked up online. It's cooked. These kids are cooked. So like it has its advantages and disadvantages, and too much of everything is not good.
Yeah.
So they need to find a balance. They need to find a balance. Community is everything.
Because let me tell you one thing, right now, sometimes like, I cannot say it sometimes, but right now, if you ask a 15-year-old kid, like just a mere question, he or she may think maybe, I'll just go ask ChatGPT to answer that for me, They don't right now think with their head.
No.
They don't think with their brains,
Okay, let's say that is true, but you have to also think about the people bringing out all these applications.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You know, it's going to be used for this purpose. Like I see the AI that is out now that answers it when you're taking a virtual interview. When you have it on a virtual interview, you can open up an AI software that will be recording the questions that they are asking you and processing it, and it will give you a professional answer. So now, let's say I can make a CV, forge a CV with a GBT, send in that I'm a professional pilot with so hours. And when they call me, I pull out that chat box and I will be talking so professionally because I'm looking directly at the camera. The guy is looking at me, I'm looking there, and I'm reading off.
You are reading
a script.
You're reading a script.
I'm reading a script.
The software is listening to the question they are asking.
Let me tell you a bizarre story. When back then, when I was in my JS2 days, the school I was in was called not Christ the King, St. Mary and Joseph Secondary School. It was an Anglican academy. So I was there. A couple came, fresh out of the university, and she applied to teach in the school. So like the principal was like, okay, you're a copper, all that's good. I was in the principal's office because I had done something. So I was there and I was waiting for my dad to come. I was kneeling down at the corner. So I witnessed everything. So like the principal gave her a foolscap sheet and told her to write a handwritten application for the same job she's coming for. So when they gave it to her, she made an excuse, left to go get a pen. But my principal was smiling. So I didn't understand why he was smiling. My principal was smiling because the person left with the purse. You want to go get a pen and you took your purse. We stayed there and waited. I was there. She didn't come back. The foolscap sheet was still there. So this is what ChatGPT is going to do very soon. Some people would know how to write an application.
Yeah.
So let's say it will never happen, but let's just like put it out there. Let's say something happens tomorrow and everything shuts down. People are going to be miserable because you're solely dependent on this easy access of things. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's say
Not used to think with your brain what you should.
let's say the click goes down and it boils down to what you know. So many people won't survive. There are people that can't even hold, in this generation that we're in, there are people that can't even hold a conversation the way we're talking. They will get bored. They would either want to hop on PS5, they will hop on PS5, or they will go do another thing online, watching trends and all that. There are people that we have that are like that right now. So you find that it's quite different.
But can I ask you, what's the main advantages of having this kind of conversation? Because people out there, they cannot hold a good conversation with someone because there are so many our young, like our same age mate,
Yeah.
our age mate. There are so many our age mates that they want to start a conversation, maybe with a lady, maybe with someone they are interested in or something like that. But they find it very difficult to both introduce themselves and keep the conversation going.
Why platforms like these are necessary is, first of all, I take it back home, is to let them know that the fact that you're not jumping on the latest trend does not mean you're backward. Because that's the narrative right now. The fact that you're not jumping on because we like, to be honest with you, I'll say the truth right here. Back home, we idolize the Western culture. We jump on trends. You find out you're late. The whole feminist movement now is like, if you come to my country in Lagos, you have ladies that have adopted that mindset. So people need to understand that the fact that you're not jumping on trends does not mean that you're not progressing. Mean that you're not progressing. You need to also protect your values. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So most of the times we do see ourselves that we are backward, but when you put it out there, I'll give you an instance. I went to a government-owned primary school. So I did a lot of debates while growing up. My mom was a teacher there.